What's going on? Move the Mouse here, back in City Skylines with another episode of Rebuilding Springwood. And this is a series just for those of you in the Discord, so be sure and check back there for links to updates in the series. In episode 1, we rebuilt Franklin Park, and it's filled in pretty nicely except some residential pockets that aren't moving in yet. And that presents a problem over here, because in episode 2 we rebuilt Liberty Park, and there's a ton of zoning over here committed to residential. It's just way more than we need right now. It's not the zone that really has any demand. Office has been creeping up and down. So what I wanted to do was commit more of this space to some office park. And this should fill in pretty quick. I think we can get away with having a larger population center over here. And we'll remodel another large residential area on this side. And that should provide good service and support to this area if we really commit this to office and commercial. But that was just a quick concept that I wanted to sneak into today's episode. Because what today's episode is really about is something that we need to do to basically really call these areas finished. We can't consider them finished until they have a good transport route and until they can avoid problems like this, right? We've got to solve some of the traffic issues, and I've got a mess of metro under here. It's the worst. Square loops and awkward turns. It's honestly embarrassing looking back at this. The one thing I did kind of nail right was there was a huge population center through here that had commercial and office and all sorts of things mixed in. So this was actually a really good route that kind of carried the length of this massive set of neighborhoods, and it all connected back into the airport. So I'm not as embarrassed about that concept, but the rest of it is pretty poor. So I wanted to really start to rethink this. And we're going to start with Franklin Park and Liberty Park, but rather than just run it through the city like this, I wanted to build a nice central transit hub. And if you kind of look around the map, that looks like fire. You gotta be kidding me. Of course, I don't have helicopters in this map because they weren't part of it. So that entire block of trees set on fire. Oh my god. This is the best. This is fantastic for behind the scenes because this is not a thing that happens on streams for entertainment. Like, this is what happens to my maps. They just burst into flames. I did have, I guess, a ton of trees there. So it was a risk we took. But I've been enjoying adding trees to kind of fill in some of those gaps and at least make it look like it was carved out of something before, you know, just being a flat bed of concrete jungle. But if we take a look, what was I saying before the map burst into flames? If you take a look at kind of the center of the map, it actually happens to be empty because I think I had city built up here and I never finished rebuilding this area. But this is perfect for a transit hub. So as we start to redesign the transportation networks around these neighborhoods, I want to make one of the steps taking everything back here to a metro station or train station even. We might be able to squeeze those in, but metros are going to be a lot easier. But let's make this a nice transit hub that is really interconnecting the other areas of the city, and let's try and give citizens an excuse not to get in their cars. That's one of the first things we can really do to solve that horrible traffic problem on this map. So for this one, I'm thinking we're going to start about here. And I'm going to drop in a monorail station right there. I'm actually going to use monorail track. I don't know why I did that. But we might have some monorail service through here. We can have a metro hub as part of that and a bus station nearby. So this is going to be our transit hub, and I'm going to start working on this in today's episode. But just like the previous ones, it's going to be a time lapse. So if you want to fast forward to the end of the video and just check out the end result, that's totally fine. But if you want to see how I did it, I'll play it at least 2 times speed so that you can kind of see a quick version of the build. But we'll see you on the end for the outro. In the meantime, I'm going to get working on a transit hub.
night.
So as usual, I'm getting sidetracked and working on other things, but we've got the most basic of starts to our metro route. And as we build new parts of the town up, we're going to connect those in to the metro, which is connecting everybody to an express to the airport, but we'll probably end up moving that airport maybe. Still haven't decided yet. That might actually be kind of cool over here as well. But for the meantime, we're committed to this hub. So every time we build a new zone, we'll build a Metro Express taking people there. And then we'll think about how we'll also connect adjacent areas a little bit here and there, but not too much overlap and certainly no loops. So stay tuned for more episodes in this series where we'll continue to flesh out this idea as we continue to build out new neighborhoods. I'll let it play a little bit offline so that hopefully this area builds back up and we won't be in the red we were a little while ago. But I'm going to keep kind of letting this do its thing. I'm going to see if I can get rid of those broken metro routes that are under there. But that's about all I'll do offline. In the next episode, we will, I think, start tackling Hill Valley. I kind of want to just work on this side of the highway. But I may also want to look into some of the zones and see if I can get this congestion taken care of. But we can kind of maybe work our way down the highway and do it bit by bit. This is actually smoothed out quite a lot over here. I'm wondering why that is. Maybe because there's not as many people over here. But it has certainly reduced some of the load on this cloverleaf, which is good, but down here is still problematic. Let's see where we're at. Traffic-wise, 57, so we're making some small minor improvements, and we'll continue to do so. Stay tuned for the next episode. Check the Discord for the link. But this is a series that I wanted to share with just the members of the Discord. Kind of a behind-the-scenes look at my incredibly sloppy build that I started with. And I'll do a little video at the end of it all that I'll post on the channel on how I turned, this mess into something a little bit prettier to look at. But it's an ongoing process, which we will continue in this series, so stay tuned for that. Hopefully you enjoyed. Likes help, but it is an unlisted video, so just let me know if you liked it or not, and I'll see you on the Discord. Until the next one, this is Move the Mouse, signing off.